Hi everyone, my name's Pieta Valentine. I've written 2 books, The Resident's Voice and The Resident's Rise, both from a dementia unit. The session today is on the greatest panacea for depression, anxiety and anger in a dementia unit. Now, far and away the greatest panacea for any of these emotional states is actually as simple as taking the person outside for a good walk. Now, simple as it sounds, it doesn't happen very often, sad to say. In all the times I've spent in dementia units, there was one man, a gentleman, he was a school teacher. He used to take his wife out every day for a walk. They used to walk regularly when she was outside the unit, and they used to tramp the hills and go to the seaside. They were fit, active people. So he took her out every day walking, even when she became quite limited with her walking. So that was a good example. Another daughter used to take her mother out every day for a cup of coffee, which was fantastic. But she unfortunately became unwell and couldn't continue that. But other than that, like, in terms of relatives that take residents out regularly for a walk, oh yes, there was one other wife, a younger wife, who used to take her husband out maybe twice a week walking, which was good. But really, that's all I can think of. And it's really quite limited. People might get out for a walk, once a month, once a week if they're really lucky, probably once a month, sometimes only once a year at Christmas time, when their family generally come and take them out, which can actually turn out to be a bit of overload, by the way, when you haven't seen everyone all year and then all of a sudden everyone descends. Maybe we'll talk about that another time. Christmas Day video. There's a lot to that, but walking. Okay, the panacea of walking. Look, if all the relatives do is take the resident out for a walk every day, fantastic. Every second day, great. Even once a week, it's the best thing they can do, really, for the person. Because especially if they've been fit and active all their life, out every day in the great outdoors, we all know how much better we feel when, we experience sunshine and fresh air and nature and the birds singing. It's just like the best panacea for all of us, actually, whether we're depressed, anxious, angry, or not even in a state, it always makes us feel better. So with dementia, of course, the people are already having to cope with the confusion of dementia and memory loss and direction orientation. So that's one thing. But then if they're having to, adjust to, not adjust, but sort of cope, well, they can't actually cope with it because it's, unmanageable, isn't it? Being enclosed in a 24/7 institutionalized situation without support, without outings, without walks outside, it really does become unbearable. I mean, especially if it's a unit upstairs, there's usually just a very small veranda that you can, pocket handkerchief type veranda, where you hardly room to walk around in, unless the dementia facility is downstairs with a big outdoor space to walk in, then that's excellent. But I'm particularly talking about upstairs when the person is incarcerated or encaged. They really do need those outside walks. And if, because a lot of the time the anger and anxiety and depression is not, dementia of course can make you depressed, but a lot of the time it's because the person can't get outside, to exercise and have some freedom and some liberty and some autonomy. It's the incarceration inside the unit that actually causes the problem a lot of the time, rather than the dementia itself. So that's why it's really important, come what may, whatever a family can do to enable their family member to walk outside and have a lovely walk outside. I know, families are busy, people have got jobs, etc. But if the power of attorney, who's, often got the overall control of the situation, if they can just work out a little bit of a roster, you know, and maybe even write it up on the whiteboard so that the resident knows 10 o'clock every morning, you know, Sue will come on Monday, Jim will say, actually, people are working, aren't they? So it might be 5 o'clock in the afternoon or after work, or it might be 10 o'clock Saturday morning, 11 o'clock Sunday morning, Jim will come, Jane will come to take you for a walk, Mum. You know, so Mum knows that the walks are coming up. She can look forward to it. The staff can encourage her and say, oh, well, you know, your daughter's coming on Sunday and you're going to go for a lovely walk so you can get outside then. So, you know, then you'll have a little bit of freedom, and she often takes you for a cup of coffee or out for lunch, sometimes even to the beach on a sunny day. So, you know, the mother, the resident, has something to look forward to. I mean, we all need something to look forward to. You know, it's very bland and blank. It's a bland and blank life if we haven't got something, you know, to build our anticipation towards. And it's absolutely the same with dementia residents. If they have something to look forward to, and even if they can't remember the exact details, even though they can't remember the facts, even afterwards they might not remember exactly where they've been for coffee or even who they've been with, but they will remember the feeling. They might not remember the facts, but the feeling of how much they enjoyed it, they will remember. And so when they get back to the unit, they'll feel happier, more settled, relaxed. So I think walking people, enabling people in dementia facilities to go out for a walk regularly is the best social service. It's the best volunteer activity. You know, people like to volunteer for things. Well, if around the whole world, people made a focus for taking a dementia resident out once a day for a walk, just that alone, if that could happen, that would just be fantastic. All that really needs to, you know, the power of attorney needs to authorise it, the charge nurse be informed, but as long as the person taking them for a walk is fit and capable and able, then, you know, there's no reason why they can't take a fit and active dementia resident out for a walk, as these people often are. They're not hospital cases, they're not sick, they've just got a memory problem. So they need to be given the chance to walk, they need to be given that liberty, they deserve it. They're the heart of our community. You know, these our elderly parents and grandparents, they've done so much for all of us, and the least we can do really is to enable them to have a walk every day and to have that liberty and freedom. They'll be so much happier as a result, and they'll then be able to settle more likely in the dementia facility when they know they can at least have the support and freedom and enjoyment of a lovely walk with their nearest and dearest, where they can have a chat and go through things and maybe have a coffee and all the wonderful things that they used to have going for them and for their lives before they went into the unit. So it's just putting ourselves in the shoes of the dementia resident and seeing what it is that we would like if we were incarcerated. And of course, all of us would like to get outside every day to have a lovely, beautiful walk. So that's it for today on walking, the panacea for all emotional states, especially anxiety, anger, and depression. It just settles us all right down. It's beautiful. It's not, you know, it's nothing to do with medication or medicine. It's just pure, natural exercise, the great outdoors, and sunshine. Nothing better. Okay, so I'll leave the links for the two books below. Thank you for your likes. Thank you for subscribing. Please subscribe, you know, in order to support this cause of, you know, elevating the voice of the residents and their world and what their wishes are, which is the whole aim of the exercise. Thank you.